The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi. Hope all are watching the virtual classes and learning and enhancing your knowledge. So today let me start the class by giving a review of the previous class. Okay children, so in the last class you came to know about a homeopath who was a bachelor as well as a doctor, and he was having a chit chat with his friends, and he was asking to his friends, has a snake ever coiled in your body at any time? All were shocked and they fell silent. So the doctor decided to narrate the incident which happened in his life once. He started by saying that it was a hot summer night and at 10 o'clock he had his food from a restaurant and he came to his room. While opening the door of the room, he heard some noise from the roof. He didn't give much notice or he didn't pay much notice to the noise because it was a noise which he used to hear usually. The room was not electrified, means there was no electricity in the room, and he was living in a rented room. So he just came inside and he lit the kerosene lamp which was kept on the table. He prepared his bed and decided to sleep. But he couldn't sleep because there was no wind and it was too hot. So he decided to go out into the veranda to get some air, fresh air. But the wind god did not bless him, and again he returned to the room and sat on a chair. He decided to read the Materia Medica, a medical book which was kept in the box. So he took out the book from the box and he kept the book on front of him and opened and started to read. But at the same time there was a large mirror also on the table and a small comb. So the doctor, it is always a tendency for all of us to have a look on the mirror when we find it near to us, right children? So the doctor also had a tendency to look into the mirror, and he just took the comb and started to comb his hair and looked into the mirror. So what happened? He just had some good ideas. He was trying to keep himself very handsome in those days, and he was an admirer of beauty. Because already he said he is a bachelor after all and also a doctor too. So he decided to keep him attractive always, and he took two important decisions. The first important decision was that he will shave daily and he will keep a thin moustache on his face to make him attractive and handsome. The second earth-shaking decision which he took was that he will keep that attractive smile in his face so that he will look more attractive and more handsome. This time also he heard the noise from above. Till that you got it in the last class. Now let's read the next paragraph. I got up little weedy and paced up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. With such thoughts in mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds from above. Suddenly there came a dull thud as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. So, you saw that, admiring his beauty and listening to the sound which came from the roof, he just lit up a beedi and he was walking here and there in the room. Suddenly another thought came to his mind. He thought of marrying and he thought that if he get married, he will marry a fat woman. Also the woman should be very rich as well as she should have a good medical practice also. The woman should be fat for some valid reason. What is the reason, children? Because when he does some silly mistake, the woman should not be able to run behind him and catch him. That was a very funny idea, right children? And with all these thoughts about his beauty, about his marriage, all these thoughts, he sat on the chair again. And at that time, there was no noise from the roof. It was very silent. But again, suddenly he heard a thud sound. That is, the sounding word is the thud. Okay? A thud sound like some rubber tube is falling from the roof. When he heard the sound, he thought nothing to worry about because he usually hears such sounds, right? And even though he turned around and tried to take a look, no sooner than he looked that a snake wriggled on the chair and landed on his shoulder. The turning of the homeopath as well as the landing of the snake on his shoulder had happened simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time. So, if this is homeopath and this is the snake, they both came face to face at the same time. So, how near the snake is to the homeopath? You just imagine, okay, how near is the snake to the face of the homeopath. Just imagine what you will do if such a situation arises to you. Okay, so that is how we understand the mental status of others, which will help you in writing the character sketch also. Okay, children. So think visual. You have to take an visual image of that particular picture. Okay. Now let's read the next para. I didn't jump, I didn't tremble, I didn't cry out. There was no time to do any such a thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone, but my mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was filled with darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. So here the doctor is saying that he didn't jump or he didn't tremble. He didn't cry out also. Instead, he sat there like a stone image. Okay, stone image means he sat there like a stone. A big stone. How it will be? You can imagine. So he sat there like a stone, and the snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The snake slithered. Slithered means movement of the snake is said to be slithered. So slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. So it coiled around his left arm and it around my left arm above the elbow. So it came here. The head of the hood of the snake was here. The hole was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. So I told you the face, homeopath's face as well as the snake's food was very near, and he is saying that it was only 3 or 4 inches away. Okay, it would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. So he didn't take his breath, he stopped his breathing and he sat there like a stone image. But my mind was very active. But he is saying that his mind was very active, and he is also describing the nature, how it was at that time. It was very dark and the room was also filled with darkness, but in the light of the lamp, he sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Like a stone image in the flesh means he is actually having flesh and blood like a human being. But here the stone is having a flesh. That's how he is describing. Stone is a non-living thing. He was not taking breath. So it is like a stone image in the flesh. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." So whenever we are in trouble, we used to think of God. Till that time we won't be thinking anything, or we won't give much importance for the presence of God. But when we are in difficulty, we usually call God, isn't it? So here again, this homeopath is also a person like that. And he is also saying that maybe God did not like something which he had done. So God has given me a small punishment by this incident. Okay, suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." So he was saying in his mind, "Oh God, please help me from this situation." That is how he thought of God when he was put into a difficult situation. There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? In the hand where the snake has coiled, the left arm, isn't it? It started to pain and it was like a thick leaden rod. And again he is correcting, not a thick leaden rod, but a rod made of molten fire. Molten means melted by heat. You know, iron rod, when it is heated for a long time, how it will be. So and when you touch with that rod in your body, how much pain it will be. So that much pain he was having in his left arm, okay, where the snake has coiled. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. So he was feeling that his all strength is drained off. Drained off means it is flowing away. Drained means flow away. Okay, so all his strength is flowing away. He felt like that. Now, what could he do now? He was thinking of that. He told that his mind was very active, even though he was not taking breath and he was sitting like a stone image. Right, children? But his mind was very active and he was thinking some ways to escape from this difficult situation. Right? Okay. Now let's read the next para. At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. Suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. So here again he is saying that at my slightest movement means if he now is sitting like a stone image without having a single movement, right? And if he move a slight, what will happen? The snake is going to strike him. So death lurked. Lurked means to wait somewhere secretly. Lurked means to wait somewhere secretly. Means death is waiting secretly somewhere 4 inches away. Suppose it struck. What was the medicine I had to take? He was thinking about it. Suppose the snake struck him, what medicine he would take? You should remember here he is a doctor and he is thinking himself that what medicine I will take. Doctors should be well versed in treating the patients. Also, when something comes to them, they should know the medicine, right? They should not behave like foolish. So here he is saying, even if the snake struck him, what medicine he would take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. And he himself describes him like he is a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. He forgot all the danger and smiled feebly at himself. Means he is forgetting all the dangers which is in front of him. See, snake, that too a full-blooded cobra, has coiled in his arm, and in that situation also he is trying to keep his mind active, as well as he is thinking that he is a foolish and stupid doctor, and he had a feeble smile. Feeble means a weak smile on himself. Okay, when we are into some trouble and when we cannot escape from that trouble, how it will be? We feel stupid of ourselves, isn't it? And we will laugh at ourselves. So same situation arises here, and the doctor is laughing to himself feebly. Feebly means very weakly. Now next para. It seemed as if God appreciated that the snake turned its head, it looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a moustache, or using eyeshadow and mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? So again, it seemed as if God appreciated that. God appreciated what? God appreciated the thoughts of the doctor. That he himself told that he is a foolish, stupid doctor. So that thing God liked and appreciated, that the snake turned its head, turned its head towards the mirror and saw its reflection. And the snake might have seen its own reflection there. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into the mirror. And the doctor is saying that he will never claim, he will never say that this is the first snake which had looked into the mirror. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. But it was sure for him that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? So you might have heard a proverb again, as is the vision, so is the word. How we think of ourselves, how we take a situation in our mind, same thing we will look at others when we see the same situation in others. Here in the beginning of the lesson itself, it is said that doctor is an admirer of beauty. So when the snake turned to the mirror, he is thinking that whether the snake is admiring its own beauty, was it trying to make an important decision? The doctor has also taken an important decision. What is that? The doctor has taken the important decision to keep a moustache, thin moustache, and also to shave daily. Right? You remember, children? So here again he is thinking the same way as his thoughts are going on in his mind. He is thinking that was the snake taking an important decision about growing a moustache, or using eyeshadow and mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead. Eyeshadow and mascara, you will be aware of it. What is vermilion spot? Vermilion spot means married women, they keep keep in there, they put vermilion spot in their forehead with kumkum. Okay, so that is a vermilion spot. Here the doctor is thinking that whether the snake is trying to do all these things, because he is also an admirer of beauty and his mind is working accordingly, and he is thinking that the snake is also trying to do all those things. Now let's move on to the next para. I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I'll never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. So here again you can see our left arm, and it slithered means it moved to his lap. From there it crept into the table and moved towards the mirror, and it just moved closer to the mirror. I was no mere image cut in granite. Now he is not a stone image. When the snake moved from his body near to the near to the mirror, just came out from that situation, and now he is not a stone image. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. He became a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair, and he just holding his breath. Now also he didn't release his breath. He was holding it, and he just got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. He just went slowly to the veranda. From there he leapt. He leapt means he jumped into the yard and ran for all he was worth. Means all that strength, with all the strength and life, he just ran away from there. Now the next para. Phew, each of us heaved a sigh of relief. All of us lit biddies. Somebody asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? No, the doctor said. God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter. Someone else asked, Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? So here again you can see all took a relief by hearing this. Okay, they are saying few means just they released their breath, and each of us heaved a sigh of relief. All of us lit biddies. They all lit biddies. Somebody asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? At that time the doctor is saying that God has willed something else. It is always like that, isn't it? Man proposes, God disposes. So we should have that much faith in God, and it's not that when we are in need we have to call God. Okay, and we should not take any decisions simply like that. If we want to do something, if we have some aim in our life, what we should do, we should have full faith in God, as well as we should try hard to achieve it, right? So here doctor is saying that God willed in another way, and so he got married to a thin, reedy person. Reedy means very thin person, and that she could run like a sprinter. Sprinter means very fastly she can run. Okay. The doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to move my things from there. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. What was that? I asked. The doctor said, my vest, the dirty one. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. So here again, somebody asked to doctor, when you ran away from the room, did the snake follow him? So the doctor is replying that no, he ran till he reached his friend's house. And immediately he smeared oil, he applied oil all over his body and he took a bath. Next morning at about 8:30, he came there with his friend and one or two others to move the things which are there in his room. But to their surprise, there was nothing in his room as the thief had cleared his room. Okay, the thief had carried everything what was left in his room except one thing. What was that? It was his dirty vest. Okay, so the doctor is getting irritated here and he is saying that the thief rascal could have taken that also and he could have used the vest by washing it with soap and water. He found it as a final insult for his image. His personality has been degraded by the thief by leaving that vest on the clothesline. So, did you see the snake the next day, doctor? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. So, the doctor is saying he never saw the snake before and after that, and the snake was a snake which was taken by its own beauty. So, how is the story, children? Did you like it? Now, let's discuss the question answers. Okay, the 7th question is, what kind of a woman does the doctor want to marry? Why? The doctor wants to marry a lady doctor who is having good practice and who is also very fat and wealthy. What happened when the doctor was sitting on his chair? When the doctor sat on the chair, he heard a thud sound as if a rubber tube is falling from the roof. How did the doctor react when the snake landed on him? The doctor sat there like a stone image. He didn't take his breath and he was like a stone image in the flesh. Why did the doctor sit in the chair like a stone image in the flesh? The doctor sat in the chair like a stone image in the flesh because the slightest movement of the doctor would make the snake strike him. So he just wanted to make the snake know that the doctor is dead or the doctor is not having life in him. In the story, the snake is compared to 3 objects. What are they? In the story, the snake is compared to a rubber tube, a leaden rod and a human being. Why did he feel that he was a stupid doctor? The homeopath felt that he was a stupid doctor because if the snake struck him, what medicine he has to take or what is the precaution to get rid of the poison. He was unaware of that and so he thought that he is a stupid, foolish doctor. 13th question. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. What does the doctor mean by the statement? The doctor meant that he got the life within him or he regained the life within him when the snake slithered away near to the mirror. 14th question. Why did the doctor run to his friend's house? Did the snake harm the doctor? Why? Why did the doctor run to his friend's house? Because he was frightened when the snake coiled onto his arm and when he got relieved from that situation, he just ran away for his life to his friend's house. And did the snake harm the doctor? No, the snake did not harm the doctor because it was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. Next, the thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. What was the insult? The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult and the insult was the thief left his dirty vest alone in the house and he took away all the other things. So that was a final insult for the doctor, as the thief had degraded his personality. Or it also shows the this part you should not write in the answer, but you should also understand that when the thief left that vest in the house and took away other all things, it shows the cleanliness of the doctor also. As a doctor, he should be very clean, he should give importance to cleanliness. But here the thief itself left that. Thieves are people who take away all the things which are useful. But how much dirty the vest was, you should understand from this, when the thief left only that vest in that room. Okay children, so I hope you got all the question answers. This just I had a discussion with you about the answers. You have to write in correct tense all the question answers in your file. And with that, I conclude this session and see you in the next class. Okay, bye.